And here we go. Spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Weibo Gaming. It is herO. We go, and if you're in the chats, it's time to get your Gamba going. It's Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will take the series. Best of luck in the chats as we have our final match here, our final best of 5. We're here to crown the final champion of KSL for 2024. Let's go. It all does end here. And then we mark a new year. Let's go. As here he does move out across the map, he will delay the expansion, he will force the unnatural natural out of Rogue, and welcome one and all to Whispers of Gold. Now this map is very wide open, it's very wide open, very exposed. Aggression is favored definitely here on Whispers of Gold, so we'll see if either herO or Rogue does embrace that. We have seen a lot of successful Roach aggression on this map, or even Ling Hydra aggression as well. Likewise, we've seen herO embrace Glaive Adepts more than once on this map, so we'll see which opener our players do embrace. We'll keep an eye on both herO and Rogue. For now, Hatch, Gas, Pool, standard openers. Likewise, Gate Expand out of herO. Everything so far looking as it should. So far, so good. As we're just waiting for our initial tech of choice, here just being as annoying as possible in the main base. Again, when I refer the reference that I made earlier about how aggression is favored here, the big reason for this is how exposed the third and fourth bases are. Unlike on some of these other maps, there's no big point of elevation, there's no narrow ramp coming into the expansion. So as a result, whether it's rotating between the bases or even knocking down these rocks to reduce the time it takes to get across the map, these bases can be very vulnerable to dedicated pushes. Both at the third and the fourth, or even both at the same time as well. Of course, that is applicable to both players. And we'll see what direction we do head in. For now, herO going for the initial Stargate opener. It'll be a Stargate opener out of herO into, I would imagine, Oracles. We have seen herO go for Void Ray openers as of late. True, he has been mixing it up. Going for Void Rays, hiding his tech, and having some fun when it comes to the follow-up as well. But based on the rally, the rally is actually headed towards the natural, and there is no Stalker. So we may just be seeing, the initial Void Ray. We'll see. I mean, it could be Adept into Stalker instead. But typically it'd be a Stalker second. There we go. Oracle's on the way. Does re-rally across the map. There we go. Does re-rally. And that means we can just settle it. So Oracle opener into a third base. Everything looking as it should. So far, so good. Meanwhile, Rogue back at home, still just saturating his bases. Did pull out of gas, so he's not rushing into an early Evo chamber or early lair. So we can rule out early tech out of Rogue. And it's going to come down to how well Rogue could defend against the Oracle. The main base so far, we have a Spore on the way. Oracle has arrived. Queen's here mainly at the natural. And the third. Spore not quite ready. But here he's taking his time, and the Spore in the main base will complete. So the Spore is done. The initial Oracle is just building up energy. The second Oracle has now arrived. Third Oracle's on the way. Here he will expand towards his opponent. Taking the triangular third. We'll see what herO gets into. There we go. Twilight Council has been placed. That is a bit of an earlier Twilight Council. Spore not quite yet done. 3 drones go down at the third. Not bad. 3 drone kills, and the Oracles, they do get away. Queen's not quite in position. And you see what I see? I see no Forge. So delayed Forge here out of herO. Throws down extra gateways. And this could be one of two things. If this was any other Protoss, I would say Glaive Adepts. For herO, I would assume this is going to be Fast Blink. As it's getting into 4 gateways. If you remember, we did see something similar here at 11 previously in the broadcast. And show us what you got. As the Twilight Council is now done, and yep, it is going to be Blink. Now, with this, herO can be very aggressive very early on, just because Blink is going to finish up faster than normal. The downside, no Forge means no +1. It's going to be delayed +1 for herO, so in a way his army is going to scale a little bit worse in a longer game, but he can be assertive earlier on, which means he can try to knock down queens and even get into mineral lines. As Zepsay busts into the natural, drones are going to be going down, getting 2 workers so far, shading into the main. Oracles are zoned away, 3 drone kills. Rogue, he will hold, he will defend. But despite that, still some nice damage here out of herO. Shades into the natural once again, getting another drone. 4 workers falling. Finally going to be cleaned up, getting up. Barely not another worker. There we go, 5 in total. Oracles, they thread in the bases. They thread the needle across the map. And Blink is almost done, and that means the Stalker should soon move out. And then we'll have these Oracles to support. So far, 4th base on the right-hand side. And we'll see if herO can deny it. That's going to be the ideal here, as herO moves out, is to deny the expansion. For now, pushing towards the left-hand side instead. Going to be clearing up creep. Does barely miss one of the tumors. Lings, they try to come in from behind. Stasis goes off only on 3 Lings. But the Stalkers, they do overwhelm. They do push in. More Lings coming in from behind. Queens are under fire. And the Lings, they do catch some reinforcements. Oh, not quite. Nice control. 1 Stalker goes down, getting a 2nd Stalker as well. But the last Queens are falling. Yeah, here he commits into the mineral line. Spores, they take a lot of damage. 1 Spore is going to go down. Sorry, 1 Oracle goes down to the Spore. And herO is going to be punished for this. Does recall back home, but I'm not so sure that was quite worth it. Looking at the trades here, herO, he does kill 2 Queens and 38 Lings. That was a lot of Lings, and my apologies. I assume that more Stalkers had gone down. Only 4. Okay. I believe 2 of those were the reinforcing Stalkers, and the other 2 are part of the main army, so very nice trades out of herO. Again, I just assumed that more Stalkers were going down. They did get low, but they survived. Stalkers did survive. herO maintains the supply lead, picking off more Lings. And now he rotates over. And I mentioned before, his goal here with his move out should be to deny the 4th. And here's the 4th base, and he's going for it. And if he can kill the 4th, then that could just be game. Rogue, he has to fight for it. He has to commit. Does turn away the army. Oh god, but the Lings are having a hard time. The Stasis Trap was brutal. The hatchery taking a lot of hits. And the 4th base, it survives. Oh, okay. It barely lives. The kiting is brutal though. The Lings, they get caught out. Queens are exposed. GG gets called as the 4th base gets broken. And herO takes game number 1. GG. Again, as we mentioned, that 4th base was a crucial, pivotal kind of moments here in that game. We mentioned it, herO, his goal was to kill it, and if he kills it, I mean, that's game then and there. And alas, he did break his opponent. It isn't just that though, it isn't just losing the 4th base, but Rogue, he fought very hard to save it, and he failed to do so. He failed to save the 4th base. He lost all of his Lings, he lost most of his Queens, lost everything in the process, and alas, for nothing, as the 4th was going to go down. So GG. GG, well played. herO does take it. Again, a very aggressive build out of herO, winding it back. If you remember, he went for an earlier Twilight Council. He did delay his Forge quite heavily, delayed his +1 in favor of fast Blink, and herO, he traded very well with those Blink Stalkers. Again, flexing his control, flexing his micro. Unfortunately, Rogue, he was unable to minimize losses. He was unable to minimize or have better trades with that. GG. GG, well played. And again, just winding it back a little bit more, we did speak about how this map, Whispers of Gold, is, again, it does kind of favor this kind of style. It favors aggression, so we expected one of the 2 players to be hyper aggressive. It was herO. In the end, it was herO. And now we're getting into game number 2. We're going to be loading into Ultra Love. Ultra Love is very different to Whispers of Gold. Whispers of Gold is like the smallest map and the most aggressive map out there. Here, Ultra Love is a lot more defensive. Does have a relatively short rush distance by ground, but as opposed to Whispers of Gold, the 3rd and 4th base are a lot more defendable on Ultra Love, much more so than the map we just saw. So there's a bit of a give and take here. On the one hand, sure, the rush distance is still larger than that of Whispers of Gold, but relatively short. Despite that though, much more defendable, so we could embrace the mid game instead. Wouldn't be surprised if we do see some more macro builds here out of our 2 players. But we'll see. We shall see. Just because the map favors a certain style doesn't mean that's what we have to see. As you can try to catch your opponent off guard. Catch them with their pants down by being aggressive and them not expecting it. And here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this and have it back and forth. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Weibo Gaming, WBG. It is herO. Leading the series 1-0. And a bit of a fun fact for those who do not know, herO, he is the KSL champion. I mean, period. What I mean by that, out of all players in the history of the Korean StarCraft League, herO, he has the most wins under his belt. He has won the most amount of Korean StarCraft Leagues, and we'll see if he becomes also the final champion of the year. Coming into this, herO, he is favored. He is the favorite player. But again, herO has been improving over time. herO, a couple of months ago at this point, did return from the military, but has been improving, has been leveling up. What I will say is that his EVP does seem like it does need a little bit more work on. I feel like his ZVT and ZVZ have been the most impressive to really embrace and impressive to spectate as well. I mean, infamously, right, herO, he was able to bring down Clem with his mass Overseer style and mass Nidus Worms and Lurker play. It's terrifying for sure. Likewise, his ZVZ is very dynamic as well, but his ZVP is a little bit more samey. It's a little bit more standard. Typically, what rogues go to in this matchup is the mid game. herO, he typically does embrace the mid game, and his win condition is to go Ling Hydra into Lurker tech to stabilize, to get into Lurkers, and then when he does, then he can be active on the map. Then he can harass, go for Nidus Worms, go for drop play, be more aggressive and more assertive. But usually it isn't until he gets into Lurkers until that happens. At least that's typically how herO approaches this. We'll keep an eye on his build of choice, and we'll see if he does deviate from that. For now, Hatch Gas Pool. Hatch Gas Pool here by herO. Gate expanded to Cybercore by herO, everything looking as it should. Pylon gets placed further back in the main, and we'll see what the initial tech of choice is going to be. I would imagine Stargate once again. There's no reason for herO to really deviate. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I was about to say, there's no reason for him to deviate. You know, he did well with the initial standard opener last game. No. Let's go. Twilight Council out of herO. Now, this could be one of two things. This could be Glaive Adepts or a Dark Shrine. Let's go. Now, I mentioned before that here on this map, the rush distance by ground is on the shorter side of things compared to all the other maps out there. So it is shorter, but it is more defendable. What I mean by that is that you do have these choke points coming in towards the 3rd and 4th base. Likewise, there is also a destructible tower that you can knock down. You can knock down this tower, you can fully wall off at the 3rd, and this is designed to at least help you when it comes to 3-base aggression. But what about 2-base aggression? What about a Glaive Adepts, as Glaives are on the way? And we should be getting up to our 4-gate setup. Oh, okay, herO, he does actually have a twist to things here. It is 4-gate Glaives, but this is going to hit a little bit harder, a little bit faster. The reason for this, herO, he's going for the proxy. What does this mean? This means that herO is not wasting money on a Robo or a Warp Prism. There's no Robo, there's no Warp Prism. Getting up to 5, it's a 2-base all-in. Jesus. Again, because he's saving money, because he's not making the Warp Prism, he can throw down extra gateways and make extra Adepts. Oh boy. Again, herO, I mean, this is why he's herO. You know, you don't see Max doing this. You don't see Showtime doing this either. No. herO, he's an animal. For the time being, Rogue, thankfully, safety Roach Warren. This is a sub 4-minute Roach Warren, so very nicely timed, very nice timed Roach Warren, which means he should be able to make Roaches here in the defense. Meanwhile, Rogue, he has not seen too much across the map. He's coming for the scout, and Rogue, he will soon confirm the aggressive build. But here come the Adepts. The Adepts are already here. Jesus. They're already across the map. The Roach Warren is soon to finish. Adepts, they commit to the shade. Not too many Lings. Yeah, not too many Lings to defend, and as a result, the Ling count it's being chipped away at early on. Lings are falling left and right. That means there's no Lings to chase the shade. He commits into the main. Boys are being pulled. Drones are going down. This is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand already. GG gets called, and herO, he will take a 2-0 lead in the series, catching herO completely off guard with the proxy. GG, well played. A very aggressive build here again out of herO. You rarely see the proxy 5-gate 2-base all-in glaive adepts. That was crazy. Unfortunately, Rogue, he was setting up for a regular defense, so he was skipping out on Lings early on. He was getting his Roach Warren. Because his Ling count was so low, he was unable to really do much about it. And with that, GG. GG. So now getting into our next game. Here we go. Beautiful. As sorry, we are just setting up. Here we go. We are going to be setting up here, and we're going to be settling into Amygdala as game 3. Whew. Okay, sorry, just just messaging some of the players, making sure we get everyone involved, and we're all good. We are all good. And yeah, with that, here he's one game away. Sorry, I was a little bit just distracted by in-game chat. Basically, there was someone that was trying to sneak into the lobby, so I do apologize for being a little bit distracted. But here we go, we're getting into game 3, potentially the final game of the series. I'm hoping it isn't. I'm hoping for a back and forth. You know, I'm giving out my energy here to Rogue. Give us a game 4, give us a game 5. Por favor, papi, give us a longer series. Otherwise, I could just go to sleep. True, I would not be opposed to that, but you know, I would still like to see some more games. Give us some more StarCraft. Let's go. And here we go, spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala. We have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming. One game away from becoming this week's KSL champion. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Rogue. Here we go. Again, he has to fight back here and now to extend the series and give us a game 4. And we'll see if he can. See if he can. As we're settling into Amygdala now, what I will say about Amygdala, so far out of all the games, out of all the maps that we've casted on in this finals, game 1 was on Whispers of Gold, game 2 was on Ultralove, game 3 here on Amygdala. This is so far the largest map that we have been able to settle into. Likewise, the most defensive map so far, as well as the 3rd and 4th base. It can be quite difficult to be assertive, to be aggressive, to rotate between them. If we wanted to see the mid game, this is the map for it. Let's go. I'm ready to embrace a longer game state here. At least I'm hoping to, but I feel like my eyes are on herO more than anything. My eyes are going to be on herO. It's one of those things where the rush distance by ground is longer. That is true. The bases are a little bit more defendable as well. But the reality is that if herO decides to go for an aggressive build and set up a proxy pylon, then the rush distance doesn't matter, right? Like, like he just reinforce then and there in your face. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on herO. When it comes to the earlier defense on Ultra Love, it was a shame. It was a shame that Rogue had engaged as early as he did, as I was trying to emphasize at the time, as I was pointing out, when herO did shade into the middle line, it was important that herO was able to pick off Lings early on to make sure that it never really built up, to make sure that herO just overwhelmed. He just overwhelmed Rogue. Again, Rogue, he was not expecting aggression that early on. He did not scout the proxy, did not confirm the build, so Rogue was going for a standard defense when he needed a more exceptional defense. And with that, we're now getting into game 3. We're getting into game 3. As so far, we're getting to our tech of choice. Pylon has been placed. Cybercore is done. And this time, Stargate. Okay, standard opener. It's going to be a Stargate here by herO. I would not be opposed to... Oh. As herO does open up Stalker. Now, with a Stalker opener, herO, he will deny the Overlord, and this does make it look like a more aggressive build, as typically you will not get the Stalker if you're opening up Stargate. You would open up an EPS to harass across the map. So already, Rogue, he's kind of being led down a false path or a false narrative, or at least herO is trying to keep Rogue guessing as to what's going on, as the Overlord Scout is denied. With this, the Oracle is rallied towards the natural, the first unit I should say. I imagine it should be the Oracle, as we did open up Stalker. And there we go, Oracle's on the way. And we'll see if herO goes for earlier tech here as he expands. So we'll keep an eye on herO. As he's rallied towards the tower, towards the Overlord. Is rallied out. Likewise, the Deps are going to be moving out as well. Not too many, but just to secure their position. Ooh, yeah, there we go. As Rogue, he did fall for it. That was a shame. So I don't know if you saw Rogue, he started a Roach Warren. He started a Roach Warren, which tells us that Rogue believed it was not a Stargate. Then the Oracle revealed itself, and then Rogue had to cancel the Roach Warren, started the Evo Chamber instead. And that's already just, again, a nice efficient start, or a more inefficient start from Rogue, as he had to waste resources, kind of deviate his build, his path. Now going into an earlier Evo Chamber, into earlier +1 melee. This should be for Ling Hydra. This should be eventually leading into Lair Tech, into Hydras, into Ling Hydra production, down the road, I should say, down the line. As Double Oracle does hit the third, getting a drone, getting a second drone as well. They do confirm the fast Evo Chamber, they confirm the researching. So herO, he's fully aware of what should be +1 melee. Again, you would not research +1 range this early on, so it should just be melee. Behind this herO, he's expanding. We do have a Gateway Explosion. Gateway Explosion before Techie. Oh, he's crazy! I was gonna say that the gateways they didn't make any sense because there was no Forge and no Twilight Council, and we see why. herO, he's having fun. He cancels the gateways, he throws down a Fleet Beacon, throws down a Stargate, and he's rushing into Sky Toss. Let's go. And Rogue, for the time being, is unaware. Rogue is droning. Rogue is droning up. He's teching. He's defending his main base. 3 drones go down. Lair is on the way. Rogue, he should not be attacking and pushing into this third anytime soon, which means herO should be able to get away with the Sky Toss. Oh boy. Now, what I will say is that what Rogue saw was sus, right? It was very suspect. As I was pointing out at the time, like, it was kind of weird to see gateways but no tech. Like, that's typically not the order you go in. So that might tip Rogue off a little bit, but the reality is that maybe you could argue that maybe he missed the tech, maybe the tech was thrown down somewhere else. Like, this isn't the first thing that goes to your mind. So I wouldn't blame Rogue if he was none the wiser here. Lings, they do hit the third. No shield battery. Ooh, no shield battery to defend. Sorry, shield battery's further back, I should say. Sentry goes down, Stalker goes down. Meanwhile, herO harassing across the map. They'll save the Oracles. Rogue taking up towards Hive Tech, towards Lurkers. Meanwhile, carriers are on the way. And Rogue is still unaware. For the time being, now he knows. There we go, now he scouts. He does get eyes on Cybercore. He sees it researching. That should be one thing and one thing only. That means +1 air attack is on the way. herO, he recalls back home. Ooh, he will lose one of the Oracles. One Oracle goes down, but alas, herO, he will defend. We'll lose 5 probes against 5 drones across the map. The carrier reveals itself. Again, Overseer does confirm. And now Rogue knows. Now Rogue is aware. Now herO, he is switching into ground toss from here. So initially it's going to be 2 up to 4 up to 6 carriers. Then Gateway Explosion into +1 melee, into, oh, sorry, +1 attack, into Twilight Council, into a ground-based army. Should be Charge or Archon, but we'll see. As carriers move out, we'll see what herO can get done with them. Again, he cannot afford to lose them. As he moves out, Lings, they move in. Oracles are out of position. No shield battery. Yeah, herO, he's been cutting corners. Yeah, no shield battery. Stasis goes up. Carriers, they hit the front lines, but a Spore does target down the carrier itself. Oh, Spore goes down. Back at home, herO, he holds. Carriers are getting to the mineral line. Spore repositioned. 6 drone kills. Nice damage here out of herO. Get 6 workers. Lings, they do slip into the main. Went to the natural even. Probes are going down. Late reaction out of herO. herO, he just left the wall wide open. It's herO. Does respond. That's going to be 5 probe kills. Nice damage here by Rogue. Maintaining his economy. As Rogue even borrows in the mineral line. Do we have a revelation? Not quite. Thankfully, herO, he is at least somewhat aware. There we go. There's a revelation. Now we need another in the main. Jesus. As Ling harass does continue, once again back into third. And behind this Rogue, he now has a Hive. The Hive is done. He's taking into Ultras. Does he have a Hydroden? I would hope so, but he does not. No Hydrogen, no Spire yet either. Not yet. My guys here defending with slow lots. Charge just now about to finish. Storm is on the way. Carrier production has concluded. But herO, he is up to 6 carriers already. I mean, that is what you want to stop. 6 carriers and then ground toss. I wouldn't be opposed to herO starting up his own mothership. Wouldn't be opposed. As herO, he's now moving out. He has Storm. He has, what, 4 High Templar. Again, the army is terrifying. And Rogue to defend, he's going to be relying on Ultras, on Lings, on Queens, Spores, and Infestors. A very interesting army. We'll see how it all comes together. Neural is research, though. And with some well-placed Neurals, Rogue, he can actually shut this down. Storms here on the Lings. Going for Microbial. Let's go. Going for the Microbial Shroud. Likewise, nice feedbacks here on some of those Infestors. Carriers, they're going ham. And that's the Queens. They're well supported here by the Record Shroud. Here come the Neurals. Yeah, Neurals on the carriers. They're going to be brought forward. herO, he has to back up. And these carriers, they should go down. He's going to get one. And then the other. Oof. Yeah, it does fall from 6 down to 4. Here is going to be reinforced with Zealots, but there are plenty of Ultras. Plenty of Ultras here to defend. And Rogue, he has done it. He breaks through the main army, chases herO back. Here, he should be losing these carriers as, yeah, one of them goes down. A second carrier goes down as well, so miscontrol out of herO. And with that, he has nothing left. Here, he has nothing left on the ground. He was shut down by the Ultras. And GG gets called, and Rogue, he does it. We will have a longer series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, herO just trying to have a little bit too much fun rushing into the Sky Tilts when he did, which I don't think was a bad move, but unfortunately, we had some very, I would say, shaky defense from herO post carrier. I'm referring to Ling Rubbis. Ling Rubbis are doing an amazing job at slowing down any kind of move out and also dealing economic damage to just keep herO pinned and allowing Rogue to build up into his ultras, into his infestors, into his queens, into his more ideal army. So very well done. You could also argue that upon seeing the army, herO should have maybe been a little bit more conservative. After seeing all those infestors and the setup with the ultras and the queens, I don't think herO should have necessarily committed then and there. You could argue that maybe he just wasn't really set up for a longer game state, so he had to commit. But alas, we saw how that turned out. We saw how that went. In the end, herO did have to, or did commit, and things went south. Things did go south then and there. And with that, GG. GG, well played. We're now getting into game number 4. We have a back and forth. We have a series. And the next game is going to be on King's Cove. Now, the question becomes, is herO going to calm things down and go for a much more standard approach? We'll see. We shall see. So we're getting into our next game. Microbial Shroud has its uses. It does have its uses. Specifically, for those who are unaware, Microbial Shroud did recently get buffed. I mean, the buff wasn't applicable there, is what I will say. It wasn't really applicable in that game state, but it does now attach itself to its units and does now follow them a little bit for a couple of seconds. But here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of King's Cove, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing Weibo Gaming WBG, leading the series 2-1, one game away from becoming a champion. It is herO. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Team Falcons, fighting back, putting a point on the board. Can he tie this up? Can he force the ace match? It is Rogue. Here we go. But yeah, when it comes to the outcome of that last game, I do kind of place the blame a little bit more on herO there for committing despite spotting the army, despite seeing what he was pushing into. I mean, he just sent it anyway. Again, I would imagine it was either overconfidence from herO or just not really the desire to really, you know, get a 4th base and play out a longer game from there. And with that, we're now settling into King's Cove. Now, King's Cove is one of the larger maps in the map pool. It's top 3. One of the larger maps. Likewise, very defendable 3-base setup as well, as we have ramps and choke points coming into both the natural and the 3rd, so very easy to defend on 3 bases. The 4th base is a different story. The 4th base is a lot more exposed. The 4th base is a lot more vulnerable, and if we were to see, you know, some more macro mid-game and mid to late game, then this would be the map for it. We didn't really get it in that last game. I mean, I know that we got Hive Tech and we had Ultras and Infestors and Skytoss, but we got there in a much more different way that, again, wasn't really designed to actually macro into a longer game state, into a 4-base economy. Here on King's Cove, we can actually get there. We can actually get to 4 bases, but we'll see if we do. It'll still come down to, I would say, herO when it comes to his build of choice. For now, once again, Stargate Opener. Stargate Opener out of herO. With this, we'll see if we go for the Oracle. We have yet to go Void Ray in this series, so at this point, I doubt we'll see one, but I mean, anything is possible at this point, especially with herO getting involved. As army gets forced back. Link speed is on the way. Rogue taking his natural. And herO does move out to try to get some scouting information. This time, no Stalkers. We had the initial Adept from herO into a second Adept as well. So more concerned with scouting and getting economic damage. So here he does dip in, shades into the main. Ooh, does avoid this around, gets up one drone. Nicely done. Gets one worker, shades away. Likewise, Oracle back at home. So Oracle opener into a 3rd. And we'll see where herO goes from there. We'll see when he throws down his Twilight Council, his Forge. As I mentioned, just because of how large the map is, I would expect for the first time this series, a standard setup. Fun fact, we have not seen a standard timing of a Forge and Twilight Council this series out of herO. Not at all. We have yet to experience a standard game. Is this it? Here on King's Cove. Do we get there? We'll see. We're almost there. Oh, okay. So far, throwing down the second gateway. It's fine. Meanwhile, Rogue, he is joining, saturating his bases. And we're getting towards the halfway mark here on the third base, which means herO, he's not throwing down his Twilight Council, which means we're going to be delaying it a little bit further, going for a later Twilight Council into Forge into a more standard setup. Let's go. It's happening. Let's go. There it is. Twilight Council out of herO. We should be seeing that Forge. There it is. The Twilight Council and the Forge just as the third base is finishing up. This is a much more standard timing and the setup for +1 Blink Stalkers in towards the mid game. Let's go. So this is kind of the go-to. This is the meta, at least currently in PvZ. And here he's finally doing it. he's finally playing meta in Game 4 of the finals. With this, of course, he can gain map control with his Blink Stalkers, he can saturate his bases, work towards +2, take extra gases, get a 4th base, and tech into his splash damage of choice. Never mind. That's tech into his splash damage of choice. Here he is not going into Blink, he's going for charge instead. Now, with an initial charge opener, this leads into Archon production, into Storm, but typically this means an earlier move out. This means a more committed timing with the rest of that tech, with those upgrades. Okay. Still not all in by any means, but just more aggressive. More aggressive, more assertive. There's the Temple Archives. Into Storm. Gee, that's a gateway explosion. Jesus. As we are setting up for a 7-gate setup here on 3 bases. Stasis is going up, catching out 2 drones. Backup stasis is denied. Getting up to 8 gates, Prism is on the way. Oh, I mentioned before that this doesn't have to be like an all-in or anything too crazy out of herO, but herO, he's committing it that much harder. Again, he's fully walling off here on three bases, getting up to 8 gateways. This tells us that herO most likely is not going to take a 4th anytime soon. Still building up. Producing more Archons, and eventually, soon, herO, he'll move out. Will soon move out, just waiting for that War Prism. War Prism has arrived. Of course, they do threaten the natural. Keeping tabs on Rogue. Rogue just now getting his 4th. Ooh, the 4th base of Rogue is delayed. Rogue, he is going into Roach Hydra. Eva Chamber has been done. +1 range is already done as well. So Roach Hydra out of Rogue. And here comes herO. No Storm. Bear that in mind. There's no Storm. Instead, he's going to be relying on a heavy Zealot wave of reinforcements. Again, he can warp in 8 Zealots at a time. Sorry, 9 Zealots at a time. Jesus. So 9 gates. And he's going for it. He's going for the dive. He wants the Queens. Can he get them? Zealots, they charge in. Stasis Trap's going to be going up. Oh, and they barely do go up on drones, though, not on the army. God, that was close. That would have been disastrous. As we are running out of Zealots, Archons have to back up. Adepts a shade towards the mineral line. Headed into the natural. And one Archon does go down. So does the other. Massive pickoffs. Rogue is holding. Rogue, he is holding on. If herO would have saved the Archons, then he could go in for another wave. Oh, but the Adepts are actually wreaking havoc. Oh my god. 7 drones. 8. 9 drones going down to the depths. Very nice damage. Even though the push was a failure here for herO, he didn't get the damage he was hoping for. The Adepts made up for that. The Adepts made more than made up for it. Now herO backs off. Now we get a 2nd Forge into Storm, into +1 armor, into a 4th expansion. Now the downside is that the 4th base for herO is quite late. It is quite late, but because of his damage that he dealt, I mean, that makes up for it. But trying to expand and trying to hold on to that 4th base is going to be a difficult task here for herO. Zealot drop into the natural. Rogue, he commits across the map. herO, he attempts to expand. If he does throw down the Nexus, it's going to be denied by the Mass Roach army. As Roach Army does arrive. And here is going to be stuck on 3 bases. He's going to try to break out. Rogue, he wants to fight out in the open. herO should be aware of this. As he's pushing into a surround. Roaches, they collapse in. There are some storms. The Roaches, they can tank. Nice surround on the right-hand side. But the Immortals are exposed. One Immortal's going to go down. Yeah, massive pickoff. And here he's still contained. And again, basically what we saw earlier was borderline 3-base all in. With those 9 gateways. And with Rogue defending, all Rogue has to do is deny the 4th. Just deny the 4th base over and over again. Just contain herO for as long as possible. And at the same time, Rogue needs to tech. We need to see Infestation Bit, Hive Tech, Lurkers. But Rogue, he's maxing out instead. He's staying on Lair. So Lair Tech max out with Roaches instead. This is risky. This does mean that Rogue, he's maxing out on a subpar army. He can get away with this, but it does kind of give herO a way to come back in this game. Just because Rogue is that much more committed. Stellar run right here towards the natural. Rogue trying to, herO trying to break out. Infestation Bits on the way, so Rogue finally, he's thinking about higher tech, droning as well. Now getting up to 70 workers, 72. But again, this saturation is late for Rogue, and the tech is late for Rogue as well. As here he breaks out. Rogue setting up for some Dropper Lords. And here he's 3-base solid. he's moving out. Behind this, he will try to expand. But here he needs to pick up this army. As he moves out, he's out of position. Massive Doom Drop in towards the natural. Does herO go for the base trade, or does he recall back home? What does he go for? He turns around for a moment. Catching out a good amount of Roaches. Turns around with some of his army. And he commits with the other. That's still going to be a tough hold, though. There we go. Zealot Reinforcements will defend. herO, he commits, and look at how many High Templar. He has 8 High Templar. He has so many Storms available. That is crazy. But pushing up this ramp is still going to be difficult. He rotates instead, headed towards the 4th. And can he knock it down? Has he waited too long? Nice storm. Nice storm on the army. Again, though, this is a very wide open space. herO, he can't push into this. Reinforcements are on the way. Oh! Nice storms. Looks like one High Templar goes down. Storms pushing in, zoning back the army. On the miles! Oh my god, they didn't quite connect. The storms do! And here he's breaking through the defensive line, pushing into the mineral line as well. The storms are brutal! Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, the storms are insane. GG gets called. herO, he snowballs out of control with the 3-base all-in, and herO will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's the final KSL champion of 2024. GG. GG, well played. And honestly, initially impressive defense out of Rogue. I was very impressed with his ability to hold the first wave. Again, herO, he was 3-base all in, and the moment that he lost the Archons, I thought that was a game then and there. But if you remember, herO, he was able to kill 9 drones. 9 drones went down to the Adept Harass, and not just that, but if you remember, something that we were a little bit critical of here is that Rogue did not tech up. He did stick with a lair. His infestation bit was delayed, his droning was delayed, his hive was delayed, and any kind of lurker transition was delayed as well. So instead he chose to max out on Roach Hydra, and that did mean that he could be outscaled by herO, which is what we saw. Like herO with like just a massive immortal storm army just blew through all the Roaches and all the Hydras. Again, Rogue, he chose not to tech up into lurkers. He tried to end the game instead. He was hoping, basically, Rogue, he was hoping that herO would try to expand. herO didn't. He did not expand. He did not take a 4th base. Instead, he just built up on 3 bases and just committed across the map. GG. GG, well played. herO does take it, and herO is our last champion of 2024. Congratulations, Pappy. Congratulations. GG. GG, well played. Whew. And with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate the support. Likewise, if you want to support the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, you can do so via Patreon. !KSL in the chat. and you'll get a link to the Patreon page so you can help support this event. You can help support the Korean StarCraft League if you wish. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you've had a great end of year. Happy holidays, happy new year as well, as new year is in a couple of days. Here on the CranKy Ducklings, we are going to be casting. Of course, we're going to be casting every single day. All the casting, all the StarCraft. We only had 2 days off this month. That was Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, but every other day we have plenty of casting available, and even later on tonight we have some more casting as well. When is our next cast? 6 hours. In 6 hours time, we're going to be live with the Masters Coliseum, day number 2 of Group C. We're going to be featuring players like Maru, players like herO, players like Gumiho, and Lancer as well. So Maru, herO, Gumiho, and Lancer, they're all going to be facing off here tonight in a Masters Coliseum. Again, that is in 6 hours time. So if you are unsatiated, if you want some more StarCraft, we got you covered. I am going to go and get some sleep. I'm going to go have a nap. I'm going to get as much rest as possible so I can wake up well rested for Masters Coliseum. That is the plan. That is the plan tonight. So here we go. Alas, tomorrow as well, so if you can't tune in 6 hours, tomorrow we're going to be live with Master Swan Open. That is our own amateur tournament, the final Master Swan Open of the year as well, so do tune into that if you are curious, if you are interested in some more amateur StarCraft. We got you covered. On Monday, we have the Wardy TV Monday, we have the Bigger Star Monday on Tuesday, we have the Duckling Showdown on Christmas Eve, let's go! And we also have some replay coverage over the course of the week as well. I'm still on the fence, but yeah, may as well. Over the next couple of days, New Year's Day, as well as the 2nd of January, we're going to be going over some replays of Home Story Cup that we did miss out on live, so we'll be able to catch up with it then and there. Let's go. And we also have the beginning of Leo League Cup. Leo League Cup is going to be, the qualifiers are going to be this week as well, on the 2nd of January, on the 3rd of January, and on the 29th of December as well. So plenty of content, plenty of casting, plenty of StarCraft is still to come. And if you enjoyed the cast, check us out here on the CranKy Ducklings. Check us out. I do apologize for being a little bit out of it here today. Again, I'm very tired. I didn't sleep well. I haven't slept well in a while, actually. I'll try to recover. I'll do my best. I'll try to recover, try and get some sleep, and get well rested for tonight. Otherwise, thanks for watching. If you want to help support us, you can do so by following us on all the social medias, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord, all things CranKy Ducklings. It is available if you so wish to join us over on the CranKy Ducklings. Again, we post whenever we go live, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. We do post VODs on YouTube on a daily basis, so plenty of VODs, plenty of content on YouTube if you wish. Likewise, we also stream on Facebook, we stream on TikTok, and we stream on Kick as well as YouTube and Twitch. So we're streaming all over the place, all things CranKy Ducklings. Check us out if you wish. Otherwise, GG. Who's surprised the toss won? If you missed it earlier, herO, he has won the most amount of KSLs, period. Like he was the favorite player. He was the favorite player coming into this tournament. He's pretty good. It's crazy. Enjoy your thank you. I will sleep as much as I can. But yeah, with that, thanks for watching, thanks for the support. Stick around, we're going to be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid, and with that, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, sorry, we'll see you guys in 6 hours. Until then, thanks for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.